When I was a kid, my friends and I inadvertently antagonized a maniac. Welcome back to Delve Deck Stories, the show where we read your responses to some of our Delve Deck questions. I'm Tess, this is Gabe, and today we are going to be reading a story from our original deck.
Oh.
This is from Jackie.
Hello, Jackie.
Jackie answered the question, what seemed harmless to you as a kid that you look back on in horror now?
My whole childhood?
Your entire, every single part of it?
Everything was just straight horror. Maybe a couple good moments, but mostly horror.
Yeah. Being a kid is just cringy in general. Yeah. But I think, we'll see what Jackie has to say.
We'll see.
All right. When I was a kid, my friends and I inadvertently antagonized a maniac.
Off to a great start.
I
feel like this is also the start to like a horror film. They're like, oh, we terrorized this guy at the end of the block. Turns out he was Freddy Krueger,
Yeah, this definitely has horror movie vibes. Also, I guess that seemed harmless to you as a kid. Terrorizing a maniac, I don't know if I was terrorizing. Did you know that this was a maniac when you were a child? Where you're like, look at that maniac.
They're like, I didn't realize this until I was in therapy 20 years later.
Yeah, I terrorized a maniac. Oh no. Kids are mean.
Yeah.
So this, all right. We lived on the same street as this lady we all called the witch. Every street needs to have a witch. Mm-hmm. I kind of aspire to be the neighborhood witch.
Is there a difference of like good versus bad, or is it just like which
really
is which?
Depends on the children in the neighborhood.
Oh, word, okay.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, okay.
It'd be like kind of scary.
Yeah. Maybe like when you're like on Zillow and it's like, oh, what's the walkability score? What's the witchability? Like, which witch are you gonna get?
Zillow. $1 million idea.
Invest in me.
Witch score.
I feel like that should be an attribute. So yes, Zillow. Yes. I'm willing to take at least 10 mil on this idea right now.
That seems like a steal.
Pre-market, I'll take that. Yeah. You guys you'll make them a lot of money.
Every neighborhood has a witch.
Every neighborhood has, a witch.
Yeah.
Or like a goblin or something.
Oh, a goblin.
Yeah,
are you going to be the neighborhood goblin?
Yeah, it's just like when those things are in the yard and they just go missing. Like, oh, who took it, right?
Oh, yeah.
The block goblin.
You're just robbing your neighbors.
It wasn't me, it was the goblin.
All right, this witch. She never spoke to anyone, always had a sour face, always dressed head to toe in black, just had a really creepy vibe. Again, all of this seems reasonable.
Yeah.
This just seems like you've run out of fucks to give. You're just like, I don't want to talk to my neighbors anymore.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
Especially not the children, which is another, again, pro to being the witch. You're just like, I'll just terrify, stay away from me. Although these kids did seem to antagonize her, which I'd be pretty pissed off about. I'm not into that.
Turns out she was just like the president of the HOA board, and she was like,
All right, one of the kids on our street accidentally lost a ball over her fence, classic. And when we went to ask if we could get it out, she wouldn't come to the door. She just openly glared at us from a window.
This sounds like the plot of another movie, like or cartoon show. Like I feel like this was. You ever watch the show Recess?
Yeah, it feels like
that
Recess.
Feels like a ball went over the fence. No one wanted to get it because they were too scared of the person.
Yeah.
Turns out she's a very nice lady.
I feel like this is also Real Big Fish. Remember that movie? There's a witch.
Yeah. I just feel like it's like the Sandlot. The ball goes over the fence. They don't go there because the beast is there, the dog, right? And they think the old man is
Every
mean.
neighborhood has a witch.
Every neighborhood has a witch.
It was so weird and sinister. Again, I relate to this. I would not speak to them either.
Yeah. Also, it's like, why would you hang out, talk to, engage with the kids? They're not
that's
like
creepy.
That is creepy. That's not a witch behavior, though.
+1 for witches. So far, this story, I'm on the witch's side. I don't know if I'm supposed to be on Jackie's side, but 100% team witch at this point. Yeah. We decided to mess with her doing all the stupid stuff kids do. We played Ding Dong Ditch, we prank called her, we TP'd her yard. The latter got us all in trouble with our parents who told us we were forbidden to go over there. Don't mess with a witch.
Yeah. Also, again, just sounds like a normal woman who is getting
She's just
bothered. I mean, that's really what they are, bothering this person who is just existing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really sound like a witch. Doesn't sound like a maniac either.
I know. That's true. Jackie, you called her a maniac, and she's just a lady who likes to wear black, who doesn't like kids, and like, honestly, that's kind of relatable.
Honestly, am I this witch?
Like, playing Ding Dong Ditch, getting prank called, I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah, I would. I mean, like, I remember as a kid, like, pranking people or doing, like, TP at somebody's house or whatever.
You're bad.
I was a bad boy. But I can just say that if I had this happen to me, like, now being an adult and be like, oh, get off my lawn, you know? That's what I'm feeling now, which is like, this person was just like, I got this house. I'm a homeowner. I'm just trying to live in the neighborhood.
I know. I spent, especially nowadays, I don't know when this happened, but if I purchase a home, no kids are messing with my house.
Yeah.
If I manage to ever be a homeowner,
fence, signs, all of it.
Yeah. Stay off my lawn.
Right.
Do not bother me. A few days later, I think this is about to take, I think we're about to find out why she's a maniac.
Turns out she is really bad.
A few days later, there were a zillion cop cars at her house, and I was like, what happened? Did she die? Nope. Turns out she murdered her husband, and he was buried in her backyard for years? Oh,
wow. All right. Just forget everything we said.
I'm still Team Witch. What did her husband do?
Yeah, let's put it back. Yeah, let's put it on him. What did he do? He probably did something wrong.
No, I want to know. No, I just want to know. My question is about to be answered.
Oh, no.
I need to stop reacting before. I was like, how did they find him years later? But also, no, I still have questions. All right, I'm going to finish the story. And then I'm going to pose my question. She got caught because she was cashing his pension check for years. So she was like illegally
cashing.
Fraud. Yeah, she was committing fraud.
Is that witchy behavior?
I think that witches love committing fraud. We all know. But okay, so she's committing fraud, but I want to know how they figured out that he was buried in the backyard.
Yeah,
or were they just like, oh, we have to search your house?
Yeah, see, I thought the way that you were like, oh, I'm answering my questions, I thought the ball went over the fence, and then, classic kid hijinks. Mm-hmm. They're like, we got to get the ball back, and they try all these different things, and inadvertently
dig a hole in her backyard.
They're like, we got to go under the fence, and they dig this little tunnel, like it's like the Great Escape, right? And then what happens? Boom. They find a body. They're like, this is not a ball.
That would be 100% out of a movie.
I feel like I need to write a movie now.
This is how we're going to make it.
I feel like there's elements of like maybe Rear Window, Disturbia, where like you've got this neighbor that does this thing, and then the kids see it, and the parents are like, we don't believe you, And I think honestly this could be a good movie.
I think
we should cut this episode right now so no one steals my idea.
Stop stealing our ideas unless you're going to pay us $10 million and add witch ratings on Zillow. Yeah. How close is the nearest witch? This is all I learned from Jackie's story. I don't know anything about what happened.
I need to know proximity to witches. And there may or may not be dead bodies inside backgrounds.
Yeah, so do you want a high witch score on Zillow or a low witch score?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like, I feel like high to low or whatever it is on that spectrum, it would have to be like good to bad, right? Like low would be good witch.
Oh,
high.
Because you have a witch no matter what.
Yeah,
so
every neighborhood's got a witch. Right.
Of
yeah.
The witch.
And you're like, oh, that's a 1. And she's like, she's harmless.
Yeah.
She casts like little hexes.
Yeah.
Like the grocery bags break. That's it.
Oh.
And then it goes to 10, and you're like, she murdered the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
She's like a 5.
What rating?
She's a 5.
A 5?
She's like a mid.
To 10.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know why I thought you were doing up to 100. I was like, 5.
That's very precise to 100. I was like, she's a 93. No.
Yeah.
I'd say she's a 5, maybe a 6. A 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Because she did murder. She murdered, right?
Murder and burying in the backyard seems higher than a 6 to me.
I don't know. I just think that, like, maybe the guy had it coming. Maybe he did something. Maybe he did. Maybe it was his fault. Okay? Just saying.
Victim blaming.
I'm just saying, men tend to be assholes.
Wow, you heard it here first, folks, and not from me. Don't get mad at me. Jackie, this was a crazy story.
That's it? That was the end?
Yeah, that was the end. It was what seemed harmless to her as a kid and I guess what seemed harmless was terrorizing a person in your neighborhood. Kids are assholes.
Yeah.
This is why witches.
But that's why I really
Teen
think...
witch.
I keep thinking you're saying teen witch.
I know.
But you're saying team witch.
Team witch.
Yeah, you're like teen witch, and I'm like, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Not. It's team witch.
Team witch. I'm team witch.
Yeah.
Not a teen witch. I know it seems like it. Thank you so much, Jackie, for this story. If you would like to share your stories with us and maybe get one on the show, you can go to share.delvedeck.com and answer one of the questions from our many decks. And get yourself a deck.
Yeah.
It's fun to play with. And you
is.
can share these insane stories with your friends and family and loved ones. And the witch in your neighborhood.
And the goblin.
And don't forget to share your stories with the goblin. Otherwise he's gonna come and steal things. Bye!